Welcome to Infidelity Whispers, where secrets are shared and hearts are laid bare. I'm Sophie, your host of Secret Calls, the show that dives into the raw, unfiltered stories of love, betrayal, and redemption. Every week, we bring you true confessions, stories of forbidden passion, hidden desires, and the courage to face the truth. From shocking affairs to heartfelt regrets, these are the stories that keep you up at night. Join us on this emotional journey. Subscribe now, hit that bell to never miss an episode, and like if you're ready for more drama. Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever faced temptation? Let's talk. This is Infidelity Whispers, where no secret stays silent.
Hi, Sophie. This is Eleanor, calling from Savannah, Georgia. I'm 65 years old, and I'm holding a secret that's like a fire inside me. I've never told anyone, not my friends, not my family, and I'm nervous, but I need to know if something's wrong with me. My life, it's not what people expect, and I'm starting to wonder if it's a sickness, a condition, or just who I am.
Eleanor, you're incredibly brave for sharing. This is Secret Calls, a safe space for your truth. Take your time. What's on your mind tonight?
All right, here goes. I'm Eleanor, and at 65, I don't look or feel my age. People swear I could pass for 50, maybe younger. It's the yoga, the organic meals, the auburn hair I keep vibrant with a little help from my stylist. But it's more than that. I walk with a spark, wear bold colors like crimson and emerald, and live like every day is a new adventure. I've lived in Savannah my whole life, in a charming old house with a wraparound porch, ivy climbing the walls where I used to sit with my husband, George. We were married for 35 years, Sophie. George was my heart, witty, generous, with a laugh that could chase away any storm. We ran a cozy bookstore together, spent evenings sipping wine, dancing to jazz in our living room, our shadows swaying on the walls. Our love was a warm hearth, steady, comforting, a home I thought I'd never lose. 7 years ago, George was taken from me. Cancer came like a thief, swift and cruel, and left me at 58, alone in a world that felt hollow. The bookstore was a ghost of itself without his voice, our house a silent prison, the quiet pressing against my chest. I'd wake up reaching for him only to find cold sheets. My friends tried, dinners, book clubs, garden parties, but I felt invisible, just George's widow, not Eleanor, not the woman who once laughed until dawn. The porch, where we'd watch sunsets, became a place of ghosts. I sold the bookstore, unable to bear its memories, and started traveling. Paris with its glittering lights, Florence with its ancient stones, Bali with its endless seas. I was searching, Sophie, for a piece of myself I'd lost. In Bali, I bought a red silk dress, bold and flowing, and wore it to a beachside cafe. Men noticed, younger men, their eyes lingering, their smiles bold. I felt a stir, a flicker of something I thought had died. Back in Savannah, I kept that fire alive. I joined art classes, frequented galleries, wore my confidence like armor. My neighbors whispered, some admiring, some judging. "Eleanor's changed," they'd say, eyeing my vibrant dresses, my laughter at cafe gatherings. My friend Margaret called me a phoenix, but I saw the raised eyebrows, the murmurs about what's gotten into her. I didn't care. I was done being a widow, done being invisible. 5 years ago, everything shifted. I met Caleb at a Savannah art gallery, a local artist's exhibit bathed in soft light. He was 23, with tousled black hair, storm gray eyes, and a smile that felt like a secret shared. He complimented my silk scarf, asked my thoughts on a painting, a swirl of blues and golds, and we talked for hours about art, dreams, the way life twists and turns. There was an electricity, a pull I hadn't felt since my youth. He invited me for coffee, then dinner at a candlelit bistro, the air thick with wine and possibility. We ended up at my house, sharing a bottle of Pinot Noir, the jasmine from my garden heavy in the night. Moonlight spilled through the windows, and Caleb looked at me, not as a widow, but as a woman, radiant and whole. His touch was a spark, igniting a wildfire that consumed me. We moved to my bedroom, our shadows dancing on the walls, every kiss a pulse of life. His hands were bold, reverent, tracing my skin like I was a canvas he'd longed to paint. His lips whispered against my ear, words of want that made my heart race. We moved together, a symphony of desire, youth, and experience colliding in a blaze of heat. Every touch, every breath, was a reminder that I was alive, my body singing with a passion I thought had faded forever. That night, Sophie, I wasn't 60. I was timeless, a woman reborn in the fire of his embrace. Caleb didn't stop at one night. He came back, again and again, our evenings a tapestry of laughter, jazz, and stolen moments. We'd dance in my living room, his arms strong, his eyes locked on mine, our bodies swaying to Ella Fitzgerald. We'd sit on the porch, sharing stories, his hand brushing mine, sparking heat. Our nights were a ritual, wine, moonlight, the creak of my old bed as we lost ourselves in each other. He'd whisper, "You're incredible, Eleanor," and I felt it, every word a truth I'd forgotten. It lasted 6 months until he moved to New York for a gallery job, but by then I was hooked. I craved that rush, that feeling of being desired, of being alive in a way I hadn't known since my 20s. Since Caleb, I've been with others, maybe 20 young men, all 20 to 25, each one a new verse in my song. There was Ethan, a 22-year-old barista with a shy smile and a love for poetry. Lucas, a 24-year-old musician whose guitar strings seemed to play my heart. Noah, a 21-year-old surfer with a laugh that echoed George's. And Julian, a 25-year-old photographer with a quiet intensity that unraveled me. I meet them at galleries, coffee shops, music festivals, even a dating app once. They're drawn to my confidence, my stories, the way I move through the world. And I'm drawn to their energy, their hunger for life, their fire. Let me tell you about Lucas. It was a summer night, the kind where Savannah hums with heat and secrets. We were in my garden, the air thick with jasmine and honeysuckle, fireflies blinking like stars. Lucas had his guitar playing soft melodies, his fingers deft, his eyes never leaving mine. He set the guitar down, pulled me close, and kissed me. A kiss that was a storm, electric and fierce, breaking over me like rain. We lay on a blanket, the grass cool beneath us, his hands exploring my body as if memorizing every curve, every scar. His touch was a flame, bold and urgent, yet tender, like he saw the woman I'd always been. He whispered my name, his breath warm, and we moved together, a dance of desire under the endless sky, the stars, our only witnesses. That night, time dissolved. I wasn't 65, but a queen, radiant in his arms, my soul alight with passion. Lucas and I spent weeks together. We'd sneak away to a riverside cabin, the Savannah River glinting under the moon. He'd play his guitar, I'd sing old jazz tunes, and we'd end up tangled in each other, the night air heavy with our whispers. His kisses were a melody, each one deeper, pulling me into a world where only we existed. He'd trace my skin with calloused fingers, his voice low, saying, "You're magic, Eleanor." And I felt it. Magic, power, life. Those moments were a fire that burned away the years, leaving only desire, raw and unyielding. Then there was Noah. It was a rainy afternoon, Savannah draped in soft grays, the kind of day that feels like a secret. We were in my living room, jazz drifting from the record player, the windows streaked with rain. Noah pulled me into his arms, his surfer's strength gentle yet commanding. His kisses were a tide, pulling me under, each one a wave of want that crashed over me. We sank onto the couch, our bodies a tangle of warmth, his hands tracing paths that set my pulse racing. His eyes, like the sea, held me captive, and he whispered, "You're a goddess, Eleanor," as we moved together, the rain a rhythm to our passion. Every touch was a spark, every breath a vow, and I felt alive, my soul burning brighter than it had in years. Noah and I had other days, mornings on Tybee Island where he'd teach me to surf, his hand steadying me, his laugh carrying over the waves. One evening, we stayed late on the beach, the sunset bleeding red and gold. He kissed me there, the sand warm beneath us, his touch a tempest that swept me away. We lay under the fading light, his fingers weaving through mine, his voice soft with wonder, and I felt like a star blazing in his orbit. Those moments, Sophie, they're intoxicating. A reminder that I'm still here, still vibrant, still capable of fire. Ethan was different, softer. I met him at a coffee shop, his shy smile catching my eye as he poured my latte. He was 22, with a love for poetry, Rilke, Neruda, words that spoke to the soul. One evening, he came to my house with a book, his voice trembling as he read to me. The candles flickered, casting shadows, and he kissed me, tentative at first, then bold, his youth a contrast to my experience. We moved to my bedroom, the air warm, his touch a melody that played across my skin. He was gentle, reverent, yet hungry, and I felt like a poem he was writing, every moment a verse of desire. We'd spend nights like that, reading, laughing, losing ourselves in each other, his whispers making me feel like art, eternal and alive. And then there was Julian. He was 25, a photographer I met at a music festival, his camera capturing the world with a quiet intensity. His eyes, dark and searching, found me in the crowd, and we talked until dawn, sharing stories under a sky streaked with stars. One evening, he invited me to a secluded beach, the waves crashing softly, the sunset painting the horizon in fire. He set up his camera, said he wanted to capture my essence, but soon the camera was forgotten. His kiss was a cascade of desire, fierce and unyielding, his hands strong, pulling me close. We lay on the sand, the ocean's rhythm matching ours, his touch, a vow that burned through me. He whispered, "You're timeless, Eleanor." And in that moment, I was timeless, radiant, a woman unbound by years, my heart soaring in his embrace. Julian and I had other nights, drives along the coast, his camera forgotten as we'd stop to kiss under the moonlight, the sea air cool against our skin. One night, in my garden, he pulled me into a slow dance. No music, but the hum of crickets, his hands tracing my curves, his lips a promise of more. We ended up on the porch, the stars above, our bodies a symphony, every touch a note that sang of life. His intensity, his reverence, made me feel like a muse, a flame that could never fade. These men, Sophie, they're not just fleeting lovers. They listen to my stories, of George, of Bali, of the life I've lived. They share their dreams, their fears, their laughter. They see me not as old, not as a widow, but as a woman, vibrant, powerful, whole. Our connections, though brief, are deep. We talk for hours, laugh until we're breathless, move together in ways that make time irrelevant. Their touch is a language. Speaking of desire, respect, wonder, they make me feel like I'm 30 again, like every part of me. My body, my heart, my soul is awake, burning, alive. But this life isn't all glamour. I'm careful, discreet, selective, always safe. I don't flaunt it. My neighbors think I'm just active, hosting dinner parties or art events, but I hear the whispers. Eleanor's too lively. She's chasing youth. My friend Margaret calls me a phoenix, but others, like my old bridge partner Susan, purse their lips, muttering about propriety. I shrug it off, but it stings. My daughter Claire, she's 38 with a husband and 2 kids in Atlanta. She knows I date, but not the details, not the ages of these men. I'm terrified she'd be ashamed, that she'd see me as some caricature, not her mother. I want to be a role model for her, not a scandal. I think about George too, and it breaks my heart. He was my soulmate, my anchor. Our intimacy was tender, loving, like slipping into a warm bath after a long day. We'd laugh, hold each other, make love with the ease of decades together. His touch was home, steady and true, never fading even as we aged. These young men, they're different. Wildfires burning bright and fast, consuming me in ways George and I never explored. I don't want to replace him, Sophie. I'll always love him, always miss him. But his absence left a void, a coldness I can't bear. These men fill it, if only for a moment, with heat, with life. That's why I'm calling. I love this life, the passion, the fire, the way it makes me feel like I'm still here, still burning. But is it wrong? Is it normal to crave these young men, to feel this alive at 65? Or is it a sickness, some kind of addiction or flaw? I've read about sex addiction, midlife crisis, even narcissism, and I'm scared I'm broken somehow. Society tells me I should be knitting, gardening, playing grandmother to Claire's kids, not chasing passion with men young enough to be my grandsons. My friends' whispers, Claire's potential judgment, it haunts me. I feel powerful, but I'm afraid of losing myself, of hurting those I love, of being that woman people mock. Is this a disease, Sophie, or is it just me? I need to know if I should stop or if I can embrace this fire without shame.
Eleanor, my goodness, your story is a wildfire of its own. Bold, breathtaking, and so deeply human. You've shared such vivid, raw emotions, and we're honored to hear your truth. Can you tell us more about what these relationships mean to you and how they compare to the love you shared with George?
Oh, Sophie, that's a heavy question, but I'll try. With George, our love was a river, deep, steady, flowing through years of trust, laughter, and shared dreams. Our intimacy was beautiful, a slow dance of comfort, familiarity, love that grew stronger with every wrinkle, every gray hair. We built a life, Claire, the bookstore, evenings on the porch with wine and jazz. Even in our later years, his touch was a warmth I could sink into, a home I carried in my heart. When he passed, I thought that part of me, desire, passion, was buried with him. I thought I'd never feel it again, that my body, my heart, belonged to the past. But these young men, they're a storm, Sophie, a blaze I never saw coming. Caleb, that first night, looked at me with eyes that burned, his kisses bold, his hands mapping my body like an artist discovering a new world. We moved together, a rhythm of need and wonder, and I felt every part of me awaken, my skin, my pulse, my soul. It was like being 20 again, like rediscovering a language I'd forgotten. With Lucas in the garden, his guitar fell silent, and he pulled me into his arms, his lips a spark that set me ablaze. We lay under the stars, his touch a melody, his whispers making me feel like a queen, untamed and radiant. Those moments were a fire, burning away the years, leaving only desire, raw and alive. Noah, on that rainy afternoon, was a tide. The jazz, the rain, his strength. It was like drowning in a sea of passion, every kiss a wave that carried me higher. His hands were strong, his eyes holding me captive, and we moved together, the world fading until it was just us, just heat, just life. Ethan, with his poetry, was softer but no less intense. His kisses grew bold, his touch a poem that played across my skin, and I felt like art, eternal in his arms. And Julian, on that beach, his kiss was a cascade, his hands a vow, and we lay under the sunset, the ocean's rhythm ours, my heart soaring in a blaze of light. These men, they're not just lovers. They talk to me about their dreams, their fears, their worlds. They listen to my stories of George, of Paris, of the woman I've become. They laugh with me, dance with me, make me feel seen in ways I hadn't in decades. Compared to George, it's wilder, more physical, less tethered to forever. George's love was my home, my anchor, a flame that warmed me through life's winters. These men are my adventure, my chance to feel alive, to burn bright against the darkness of loss. But that's what terrifies me. Is this fire healthy, or am I chasing a high like an addict lost in the rush? I don't want to hurt Claire or tarnish George's memory, but I can't let go of this life. Am I normal, Sophie, or am I lost?
Eleanor, your story is a tapestry of passion and courage, woven with questions that touch the heart. Thank you for trusting us with your truth. To help explore your concerns, we're joined by Dr. Michael Hayes, a distinguished clinical psychologist with decades of expertise in human relationships and desire. Dr. Michael, Eleanor's lifestyle is vibrant, yet she wonders if it's a disorder. What can you share with her?
Eleanor, your openness is remarkable, and I'm honored to speak with you. Let's address your question directly. Your attraction to younger men and the joy it brings is not inherently a disorder. At 65, you've endured profound loss. Your husband, your shared life, and these relationships are a powerful way to reclaim your vitality, to feel desired and alive again. They're a dance of desire, a celebration of your enduring spirit, and there's no age limit on that. Your story reflects a universal truth. We all seek connection, passion, and a spark to light our darkest days. But your worry, whether this is unhealthy or an addiction, shows deep self-awareness. Let's unpack this. These young men offer you a rush, a fleeting flame that burns bright. Their youth, their energy, they make you feel seen, cherished, in ways you thought were lost. Yet, at 65, you're in a different life stage than these men in their 20s. While you may feel loved, Eleanor, it's wise to temper expectations of lasting romance. Their feelings, though genuine, may be transient, a spark rather than a steady hearth. We can't predict how long these connections will last, and that uncertainty is part of their beauty and their challenge. So, here's my advice. First, savor these moments. Let yourself bask in the joy, the passion, the way these encounters make your heart race. They're a gift, a reminder of your vibrancy. But hold them lightly, like a melody you love, but know will end. Don't anchor your heart to hopes of forever, because forever is rare when worlds are so far apart. If a relationship fades, embrace the parting with grace, like stepping off a dance floor after a thrilling waltz. See it as a game, not of deceit, but of mutual delight. A chapter, not the whole book. Second, reflect deeply. Are these connections fulfilling your soul, or are they a shield against loneliness? If they ever feel compulsive, or if guilt about your daughter, society, or your late husband overwhelms you, that's a sign to pause. Consider speaking with a therapist, not because you're broken, but to navigate this journey with clarity. A professional can help you set boundaries, ensuring these relationships honor your values and don't eclipse other parts of your life. Finally, Eleanor, celebrate yourself. You're not a stereotype, not a widow confined to society's script. You're a woman rewriting her story, and that takes courage. Keep asking these brave questions, and trust that your heart will guide you to balance between passion and peace, between fleeting flames and lasting light.
Dr. Michael, that was profoundly moving. Eleanor, we're with you on this journey. Listeners, what do you think? How do we embrace passion at any age? Share your thoughts below and join us next time for more Secret Calls.